Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about WSL2 of what is WSL2, the difference between WSL2 and WSL1, and also how to install WSL2 along with Ubuntu system. So first, what is WSL? WSL represents Windows subsystem for Linux, which means you can install your favorite Linux distribution on the Linux machine and run Linux tools, utilities, also applications directly on your Windows machine. For example, crontab, which is a popular job scheduling utility in default Linux machine, but not in Windows. In here, you notice we are talking about WSL2. So where did the WSL1 go? WSL2 is the upgraded version of WSL1, but they are quite different in both architecture and performance. Um, in the architecture wise, WSL1 is based on translating system calls from Linux distribution to Windows. Both Linux and Windows processes running on the same kernel, so therefore things can go wrong. WSL2 adapted a totally different approach. They are based on a virtual machine platform and put a real Linux kernel with the virtual machine. Means you will install an independent Linux kernel for your Linux processes. You can still access to your Windows files directories from your Linux command. In performance wise, WSL2 is 3 to 6 times faster in I/O, which means installing Python git clone processes is much faster in WSL2. Also, the system call compatibility is also much better in WSL2. To install WSL2, you have to first check your Windows version. Per the official documentation, it requires Windows 10 version 1903 or higher. To check your Windows version, you can go to the search bar and type in WINVER and hit enter. And you can find here my computer Windows 10 version is 20H2. Per the latest release, this version was released in 2020 October, which is higher than the minimum required version. Once confirm your Windows 10 version, then you can start installing. Before doing the installation, you have to enable the virtual machine and the Linux kernel on your Windows machine. So to enable both, there are two ways. The first way is via PowerShell command. So you can go to the touch bar and type in PowerShell and right click and click run as an administrator. Click yes. Then here, first to enable the Linux subsystem, you type in this command and it's completed. Next, you have to enable the virtual machine, which is a separate command. I will attach both commands in down below the video. So after running both commands, your computer Linux subsystem and the virtual machine have both enabled. This is the method via PowerShell. The other method is via graphical interface. You can go to the search bar and type in turn Windows features on or off. And you should be able to find the virtual machine platform and also the Windows subsystem for Linux tabs. In here is both enabled because I had typed in the PowerShell to enable both features. If you don't want to run the PowerShell, you can also click check both items and click OK. For the first time installer, there will be a pop-up window to ask you to restart the computer. Restart if you didn't. After you restart the computer, we also need to download Linux kernel update package, which will update your Linux kernel. And in here, I have the URL in the browser. I will also include in down below the video. And you just hit enter. It should give you the file. Let's go to download, and you will find the file here. Let's click to install, hit next, hit yes, and finish. Now you have a WSL2 enabled in your Windows machine. If you have the WSL1 installed previously, I highly suggest you to set the WSL2 as a default in PowerShell. How to do that? You can just go to the PowerShell and type in WSL dash dash set dash default dash version space 2. Now your default WSL is set to the version 2. Next, we're going to install the Ubuntu system. So go to the search bar and type in Microsoft Store. Click in. Then in the search bar, you can search Ubuntu. Hit enter. There are different versions of Ubuntu. I'm going to install the latest version, which is 2004. Then hit get. Now the downloading has started. Now the installation has completed. Let's hit launch. Now you are in the Ubuntu Terminal. In here, I'm going to create a new username, which calls CJLED. Hit enter. A new password. Hit enter. Retype it. Boom. Now you are in the Linux terminal. The first thing I would suggest you to do after installing a new Linux system is to update and upgrade all packages and utilities and make sure they're up to date. To do it, simply just type in sudo apt-get space update. Hit enter and input your password. Second, type in sudo apt-get space upgrade. Hit Y. Type in Y. Now all your packages and utilities are up to date. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, please click like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.